In 2012, 25-year-old Sam was kidnapped and held for 10 days, and his parents were assaulted by staff at a Brisbane hospital, all on the advice of a psychiatrist and without any consultation. Sam has a history of food intolerances. He'd been working as a cadet officer on a ship, and after a voyage of about a month, his mum met him at the dock and was shocked at how much weight he'd lost. He lost so much weight because there was very little food he could eat on the ship. His mum took him to a Brisbane hospital just for a checkup, and they were forced to wait in a back room for hours. Sam's dad arrived in the evening and asked what was happening, and he was told by staff they didn't know. Eventually, a nurse came out and gave Sam a tablet to take. He was told it was a muscle relaxant. Sam said he didn't want to take it because he was intolerant of so many substances that he might have an adverse reaction. And that was the beginning of the horror story. What happens next is incomprehensible. The nurse told Sam if he didn't take the tablet, he'd be given an involuntary injection. So Sam and his parents decided to get the hell out of there, which I think we'd all do, right? But when they tried to leave, the doors were locked, an alarm sounded, and 6 security guards appeared out of nowhere. Sam's dad was thrown on the floor and handcuffed. His wife was put in a chokehold, and Sam was physically restrained. Sam's parents were forcibly removed from the building and told not to come back. It took 10 days for the hospital to release Sam, and it was only after the intervention of doctors who treated him for his food intolerances. Sam's dad told us that during those 10 days, he came to realise he was dealing with a bunch of self-righteous idiots, and it's impossible to disagree. This didn't have to happen. All the psychiatrist needed to do was have a conversation with Sam, and they would have found out the weight loss was because he had food intolerances. It had nothing to do with his mental health. It was because he'd been stuck on a ship for a month. Sam's dad lodged a complaint with his local member, but he was told the system had worked as it was supposed to. That's bullshit. It's not how the public expects the system to work at all. The public doesn't expect a mentally competent young man to be kidnapped for 10 days without any consultation because he has food intolerances. It seems incredulous that someone could be locked up without consultation or consideration of their medical history, right? Justice Matters intends looking into this to see if the hospital violated the policy at the time. And if it turns out that the hospital acted against policy, then we'll be calling on the current Health Minister and Premier to ensure the individuals responsible are prosecuted for kidnapping and assault. And if the current politicians avoid their responsibility, they could be prosecuted for offences related to abusing public trust. This story could get interesting, and we'll keep you posted.